So I worked in at this hotel, Mainstay Suites, with these Serbians, and they were good to go. I didn't learn about their their culture, and until I met these guys. So I would hang out in the back kitchen, or like the wherever they feed the guests. It's a small little breakfast area, and they clean it up every day. These guys, and I just gotta like wipe down the elevator and sweep up and vacuum, do basic cleaning shit, and then these guys are calling me in the back. They're like, hey, you wanna eat some breakfast? And I was like, what? Yeah, sure, let's go. And so I joined them in the back, and these guys were munching on all the free like food. Not free, but it's free food for the guests, but we're not supposed to eat it. It was explained to me uh, that we're not allowed to eat it. And then they take these old donuts from Albertsons, I think. They take some old donuts from someone, and then they give it to the guests, and that's just like 2-3 days old, left out for them. And I don't even want it, man. Really, go ahead. And then when I was talking to those guys in the back, the Serbians, they're like looking really cool, shooting the shit. They're like, yeah, they tell us not to eat this, but I mean, I'm from a poor country. I'm not gonna waste this food if I can help it, you know. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. So we're over there peeling boiled eggs and eating raw, stale ass donuts, and drinking coffee with these guys, and just learning, about them. They're like, man, you're super cool. You should go visit my country, Serbia. And I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to go to Serbia, bro. I know white people can be racist, in some places, and they were kind of offended, right? And they're like, oh, America's so racist. Yeah, I understand why you think that way. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, of course, racism is a thing here in my country, in America, but this place is full of all the races. Like, everybody's here. What are you talking about? And he's like, but my country's not so racist. And I was like, really? Like, you're from Serbia. You're mostly a white country, right? And they told me about the Ottomans and the Turkish history, right? The Janissaries. These are white boys, young men, talking from Serbia, talking about the Turks and how they used to have the Janissaries. I think it's the Janissaries, where the Turks would come and take their oldest sons. They would go up to their families, and that was a thing. And I that's the first time I ever heard about these guys, the Janissaries. And my boy Alexander and Boyan he went off to Sweden, and he became an engineer or something. But yeah, they were telling me about the Turks, how they conquered their country for a long time and enslaved them, and I was blown away. But anyways, I was like, so your country's not racist? Like, I can go there, no problem? They're like, yeah, no problem. So you're gonna go visit, right? You're not gonna try to stay there, right? You're gonna leave, right? I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna visit. I don't need to fucking live there. I'm good. And I was like, so they don't have no racism over there. They're not blaming anyone for any problems over there. And they're like, oh, fucking gypsies. They fucking said that shit. They started talking some shit about gypsies, and I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, point fucking proven, right? Like, yo. But anyways, I understand why you guys are upset about the gypsies, like they're kind of rough. But we got gypsies in America too. And I mean, they're not established like they are in Europe, but yeah, that was my boy Alexander. He ended up waking up, or he didn't wake up. He ended up going home for a nap from his shift in Applebee's. They said he laid on a couch and never woke up. And this dude was like 26. Man. Felt so bad. I heard a story. One of his roommates was like, noticed him on the couch, and he looked a little blue, or looked a little weird, looked a little off. And then they asked him if he's going back to work, if he's okay. And he's like, yeah, just let me lay down. I'm not feeling too good. And then he never woke up. and he was just visiting on like a little work visa. He wasn't even like trying to make America his country. He was just traveling through. Like he's one of the like one of the most awesome free spirits. Rest in peace, Alex, that I've ever met. And I mean, boy, and if I'm not gonna throw this account out on my personal Facebook. I'm creating its own Facebook, and I'm trying to build this channel from the ground up in the algorithm in the world. I'll throw some videos out there later, like when I'm done like playing around with it. But right now, I'm not really too worried about getting the views and the subscribers yet. I don't really care. I'm just doing this to record my stories for my kids, and if anyone can benefit from it, more power. I don't want to hold anyone back. I used to be a young, angry, mean person. It's a lot of my upbringing, and then I went from there, running around with some rough kids to the Marine Corps, and actually thrived in the Marine Corps pretty well. Like I had a really good enlistment in the Marine Corps, and then I went to college after the Marine Corps, right? And college was the shit. Like I never in my life, I barely got through high school. I was fucking around too much. And I realized all you gotta do is show up. You just have to show up to class, and it fucking will fall into place. Like you'll do the work if you just show up to class. And I never went to class at all. I was fucking around. But anyways, I went to college because I had some benefits, education benefits from the military, and it was a sweet gig. Actually, let's talk about this shit. I went and I was getting ready to go out of get out of the Marine Corps. The GI Bill I had was the post 9/11 GI Bill. It was new. I started out paying the Montgomery GI Bill. I paid $1,200 a month for 12 months, and then they offered me a kicker, which was another $100 a month for another 6 months. And you contribute $1,200 to the GI Bill, and you get your full GI Bill. If you add the kicker, you'll be contributing $1,800 to your GI Bill. You'll be complete with a kicker. I paid that shit. I got it on my DD 214. I went to college. I was talking to all these young, smart kids, right? A lot of veterans too. I forgot that I wasn't the only veteran there. There's a shitload of veterans. Yeah, okay. Some of these guys were making more money than me, and I was like, what the fuck? And one guy's like, yeah, I got a kicker. I was like, motherfucker, I got a kicker too. What do you mean? So I went and I was talking to everybody, and no one could give me a straight answer. And I went to school in Guam. I mean, no Guam's kind of weird because it mixes everything up. They don't know if you're U.S. or not. There's a lot of weird problems, right? So my GI Bill, I started getting $1,300 a month for my BAH rate pay that they're supposed to give me. They give you money based off the zip code of your school. So if I went to school, like I was looking in like San Francisco or New York, I would have been getting like $1,500 to $2,500 a month, depending on like the zip code around these areas, right? So got to Guam, I'm collecting. I got book money. I got book money, so my books are covered. I got my classes covered, 100% paid, no problem. I even got Pell Grants. That shit was sweet. That's pretty much free money. And then what the fuck was I saying? Pell Grant. Oh, I was getting $1,300 a month for BAH. That was the deal. They'll give you They give you money for rent, like BAH. That's what it was supposed to be. Guam don't have a BAH. Guam has like a OHA. BAH is like a. We'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna fucking try to say all those words. It's been a while. but BAH, and then the Guam don't get a BAH. We get a overseas housing allowance or something. So what they're supposed to do is give you BAH at the E5 pay rate with 2 dependents. So I was getting 1,300 a month. That's fine. I started school in August. I went through like maybe I started school in January, spring 2010. I started school January. Then I went down to then it went down to August. By the time August came around, they changed the money, right? So from January to August, I was getting 1,300 a month. In August, they started paying me 2,500 a month for rent. So my money went from 1,300 a month to 2,500 a month. And we still don't have a BAH at this point. They just changed it. So I went and I was like, yo, what's going on? I know this is legit, like we're getting paid this much money. But why was we not getting paid from January to August? And no one could give me a straight fucking answer. So I was like, so is this a new thing, or did they mess up? And one person said, this is a new thing because of you guys, so this is what you rate now. And I was like, okay, good to go. No problem. Then I went and I talked to somebody and they're like, no, it's always been this rate. Every E5 has been getting paid this much with 2 dependents. You should have been getting paid this much from January on. So I went from January to August. And I'm like, then that means I rate a back pay, right? Like if you guys fucked up, I get a back pay. So I asked the congressman. She even came to my course, one of my classes in a UOG, and I was like, yo, what's the deal? And she's like, just be happy with what you got. And I was like, fuck you, bitch. I fucking rate this shit. Oh fuck. But I understand what she's saying. She's like a non-voting delegate, and she's like just taking what she got and everything. And I was like, oh man, like fucking green weenies fucking getting me, still tickling me with that shit, I'm like, man, you guys gotta figure your shit out. And then after this, like a couple months down the line, like after, like shit, even before I almost left, I went to UOG. The whole time I used up my whole GI Bill. I got 4 years of college under my belt. I didn't graduate though. I was fucking around a lot. But I talked to this one Navy cat. We're at the tree smoking a joint, and he's like, yeah, I get 2,900. And I look at him, I'm like, fuck you mean you get 2,900? He's like, yeah, I got a kicker. I was like, fuck you, motherfucker, I got a kicker too. What are you talking about? And I was like, yo, where do I go to talk to somebody about this, right? And I even got into an argument with my wife at the time, because I was telling her, yo, I paid for a kicker. I rate this shit. If a kicker gets you that. But she was a reservist, and she got a kicker for her reserve deal. And I guess their deal's different. Like their package is different. But me and this cat I was talking to, he was active duty Navy. He didn't do nothing I didn't do. Like he didn't fucking pay for anything else that I didn't pay for. I paid for everything. He didn't rate anything more than I did. I don't understand what the fuck he got extra money for. But you know what? I said fuck it. I stopped arguing with people over that shit. It's like it's all free money, but I was like, yo, whatever. I'll bite the bullet. But yeah, I went to school. I had a great time in school. University was just the fucking best time. Girls were everywhere, and they were friendly. Like, as a young guy in high school thinking college was for nerds, I was so wrong. Like, there's everyone there. Like, everyone's there. But damn, I didn't realize like how much fun it would be. Like, it was a good time. And I learned a lot of shit. Met a lot of cool people, networked with a lot of cool people. Uh, I still in touch with a lot of them today. A lot of them are we we uh we vibe pretty well. Uh, some of them are kind of stereotypical college, like liberal activists. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, enjoy your movement. If you're not an activist in college, what the fuck are you doing, right? So that's what they say. But so yeah, I paid my GI Bill. All right, I got all my GI Bill and benefits and everything, and I fucked up because if I had one day left on my GI Bill, I would get even more benefits under a new program called the Voc Rehab that I learned about, and I rate this Voc Rehab benefit. But they'll also give you money for rent, I guess, or books or something. They'll give you extra money, but you have to have at least one day of your GI Bill. And I fucking milked that shit. I milked the fuck out of my GI Bill. After Afghanistan, running around with those fucking grunts, doing all that shit, those guys are getting broken left and right. And they're getting like fucking, they're getting denied. They're fucking getting denied their fucking benefits and their shit. I mean, I know a bunch of killers did 3-4 tours that got kicked out of the Marine Corps that got no rate. They don't rate shit right now. So they're in the middle of like upgrading their discharges and all that shit. And I got a bunch of nerdy ass fucking dudes that I used to work with that are just freaking me out online. You know, I wasted too much energy arguing with people online. I'm done. I had to turn it off because I'm not getting anywhere with that shit. It's like I'm wasting too much time on you. I need to do better for my kids, you know. So I'll make some videos for my kids, and I hope they appreciate these one day. You know, I don't know if YouTube will be around forever. I was thinking about that. Maybe I need to do have a better plan about leaving these videos just on YouTube or whatnot. But I'll continue to keep pushing out some stories. Yeah, had a bunch of stories that I was planning on writing a book, right? So I wanted to write a book for the longest time, right? Somebody told me, I think it was Manyao. Shout out to Manyao. He said, 3 things you gotta do to live a full life. Or some philosopher, he quoted some philosopher, was build a house, build a family, write a book. And I was like, what? That's interesting. Interesting. Have kids, build a family, build your house, you know, give them shelter, and then write a book. I love the idea of writing a book. I love all 3 of them, but the writing a book was like, oh, that's an interesting one. Why would everyone write a book? Not everyone could write. Not everyone could read. Not everyone gives a shit. But I think it's great to leave them, you know, something, a piece of us, you know, while we're here. We might as well make the best of it, you know, and limit ourselves. Why limit ourselves? Keep pushing, keep going up, keep leveling up, keep stepping outside of your boundaries, right? Like I never wanted to fucking do this shit, but I don't mind doing it. It's not a problem. But I was thinking about writing a book, and I had a bunch of notes. I haven't started, like, it was like a family tree and like some stuff, some notes of my youth and my past, because I read a book. Shout out to David Sablon, badass Chamorro. Used to grow up with me in art. I used to watch him growing up, hanging out at my house all the time, doing his art. He's a famous Chamorro artist on Guam. He's a Vietnam veteran. He's one of my stepdad's like good friends. Like, he was always there at my house, and he had a book, and I read his book. He had a good book. It kind of like, I read it when I was like 8th grade, so I was like, and it wasn't too thick, and I always thought it was cool that I read someone's book that I knew. I didn't even. I'm not related to this guy in any way, but I read his book and I have a lot of respect for him. But my stepdad, he's a rough guy. He's kind of unstable. He causes a lot of problems. But I like Dave. I like Dave Sablon. He no matter what anyone's got to say about him, I love that guy. He passed away recently, and I didn't realize he was that sick. But he came by my house. He hugged me. He said goodbye to my stepdad. He said goodbye to my mom. He was with some younger woman, like my mom's age. You know, Dave's older. But he was in the mall once. I saw him with oxygen, and then he was gone. Like a month later, he was gone. And yeah, I think he's a smoker. Maybe cancer took him out. That's my best memory of like what his story. But anyways, the book, right? So I was gonna write a book, and then I parked it. I stopped writing my book like on my last trip to the Philippines. I think I was in like Cebu and I was writing. I was writing for my kids. I always think about my kids. Like whenever I do something, my kids are always on my mind. Everything that I do is motivated by my kids and making them better. And I'm already done like building myself. I'm already done. I want to build my kids up and make them successful or happy in the world. So that's what I'm trying to do. I know I'm a little unorthodox at times, but I mean, no one else is raising my kids. So there's that. But yeah, I'm gonna write. I was writing the book, and then I keep seeing all these like content creators talking about starting YouTube channels. So I was like, fuck, I had a YouTube channel, right? I didn't like post anything. I might have tried to post the video and I didn't fucking know how to do it like when I was in the Marine Corps and I gave up. That account's probably still out there somewhere. But I never uploaded no videos to the internet. I don't really like to put my pictures and stuff on the internet. And then I realized like my wife's already putting everyone out there, so I'm not really like hurting anybody by putting my family out there. If anyone wants to come after my family, good luck. And then we go and I start recording, and I'm like, damn, this isn't too bad. Like I could do this. I was in Greece once, and these two badass teachers, these teaching English around the world. This guy was one guy was like totally got this big badass DSLR, and one guy was just like, whatever, man, I'm fucking eating this flower over here, like picking a daisy and eating it. I'm in Greece with these two dudes for a couple of days, and I was like, what are you doing, man? Why are you not taking pictures like this guy? You're so artistic. You're looking at flowers. Why are you not taking pictures and whatnot? He's like, man, somebody else will take that picture better than I can, like him. And he's pointing him to his big fancy camera. I was like, that's a good point. Like, what? Why do I need pictures of this place? I'm fucking traveling alone. I don't need to take pictures. I never look at my shit when I don't really care to look at pictures. I like to look at physical pictures, when I was younger. But there's just so much digital shit now. It's like I can go through this for days and still not be like satisfied. Like what am I looking at? Maybe some old memories. But video is fucking solid. Like I like video. When my cousin told me he's a hustler. He's always on the streets fucking grinding. And he said, I sell a lot of shit on Facebook, on the Facebook groups, right? And he said the best thing to do is drop a video. If you want to sell something, you just drop a little video of this thing, and they'll call. And I was like, wow, that's some good advice, because I've tried selling some shit on the internet and it was all right, but I'm like, how are you pushing all of this stuff on the internet? And this guy's got like, he's like a mechanic. He's selling bush cutters and all kinds of weird shit, generators. And he's like, yeah, man, I just fucking do videos. They see it crank right up. They love that shit. They'll call me right $200, $300, no problem. All right, cool. So that was like 10 years ago. I heard him say that shit. And I was like, okay. And then I never realized like I should do this. And then I realized like I need a new phone. My phone's full of storage and shit. So I'm like deleting pictures and still a problem. So you're hitting videos and I'm like, oh, what do I do with all these videos? So I started uploading them to Facebook and went on like, shit, let me just fucking upload them to YouTube. So I uploaded all my old shit on my phone onto YouTube and deleted all of my stuff, and my phone is still fucked up. I don't know what's going on. So I deleted everything off my phone, still fucked up. I was like, I don't know. I fucking hate you. So I went and I got a new phone. I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go get me a new one. And that's what I'm using now. So I got me a new phone and I'm like, what do these things do now? So I'm looking at videos of what these fucking things do now, and they're amazing. Like these phones now. Like my old phone, so iPhone 11, this is pretty cool, but these new phones, these things are this is a level up. So now we got a new phone. I'm learning how to use it, like record videos and edit. I don't really give a shit about editing. I can do it, but I'm like, I kind of like just making videos and throwing them on the chat. And I realize I need to do more videos to to get good at it, you know. So I'm pushing myself to do this stuff, and no one's gonna do it. And I figured now's the best time because like I got so many friends like showing up in the papers and the obituaries. Online, I'm learning about so many people fucking getting out, you know, getting their button pushed and shit. It's like, whoa, no. I can't just leave my kids like that, you know, with nothing. Like I need to provide them with the best that I can. So I was like, maybe I'll get all my stuff and throw it on Facebook and like privatize it. But I'm like, fuck, maybe Facebook might not be around in 20 years. Like it might be like MySpace, you know. MySpace, I had a lot of shit on MySpace, and I don't know what the shit, I don't even remember my account. I had pictures, all that. So when I mess with these digital toys and I mess with this tech, I'm always thinking of how I'm gonna back my shit up. And I used to use external hard drives, and I had a problem with those now, like my old ones. So it made me realize I gotta stay on top of that. Now I'm out of luck with like some old memories. Maybe I should. When I first went in the Marine Corps, we had these disposable Kodak cameras. You buy them for like $8. Take them to the field, 30 pictures in a camera, and then you can take it to get it developed at the PX, and they fucking do it for you. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, you know, like shit, I got pictures. And then when I was in Iraq, started making some money. I was like, maybe I should buy a digital camera. So I bought a digital camera from Canon to try to record some shit in Iraq. But that thing was it was like 5 megapixels or something at the day. It was like top of the line for what it was. You know, I had some money in Iraq, but that thing, I dropped it once and it fucking broke. Actually, sorry, homie, but yeah, my friend dropped it. I ended up slapping the shit out of him because he fucking dropped my camera, and it just fell right in front of me and just fucking didn't work no more. Like it was fucked. I'm like, wow, man, like that was like $350, $400 in 2006. And I was like, that was a pretty good chunk of money, bro. And he was solid, man. He bought me a new one too. He gave me money for a new one. I didn't expect him to do that, but I was an asshole. Yeah, I love that guy though. He was a good dude. I got a bunch of kids now, and he just finally had a kid. I was kind of hard on him in the Corps. I gave him a lot of shit But I would like stand up for him. Like I defended this guy a couple times against some bullies. You know, he was getting bullied, and I helped him out. But the fuck was I talking about? Shit. I was talking about Stu. What was I talking about? Anyways, I love you, Stu. Uh,
I wasn't getting 6 weeks off, Karen. Like I had
so
certain things I did in certain seasons, and there's something about taking massive, messy action. Now I know two people in the chat in the comments might be like, "Oh, bro, you're just talking
but I
about."
guess that's that.